everyone to this week's Skippy track guide at Zandvoort again. And we have done a track guide around here, but it was with the kind of the old layout of style. So I thought I'll redo it with a different lap time. So this was in a practice sessions, one of the first I could get my hands on. And let's have a quick nosy. You should better see this lap time because it's quite early on. 1:54.566, and I believe my last track guide was a 1:53.9, something like that. So a good half a second difference, 0.6 of a second. I'm going to blame that on track temperature, to be honest. 73 Fahrenheit, this one. So a little bit hotter, I believe, if I remember correctly, but don't quote me on that one. Otherwise, setup will be in the description. And, well, without further ado, let's crack on. Right, coming across the start-finish line, we actually missed it due to the transition that I use, but it is there, don't worry. And we're coming down here, be careful of people overtaking, it's quite a long straight, great opportunity into turn one if you're going to do it. Braking point is around this sign that tells you how tight the turn is and the line across the track that we just crossed. When the tyres are cold, brake at it. When the tyres are nice and warm, brake after it. I'm changing down into second gear. I'm finding I'm getting better drive out of it. I know in my first track guide that I did of this, I was in first gear and then changing into second just to get the rotation. For whatever reason, feel more comfortable in second, so that's what I'm taking it. But if you do want to go down to first, by all means you can. Focus on the exit on most of these corners around here. It's going to benefit you much better than trying to brake as late as possible. So, getting ready for turn two, we kind of nip out to the right hand side just a little hair, and basically we want to straight line the very small, tiny braking zone of turn two. Just as we get to the end of the curbing here, we're kind of stabbing the brakes down to third, roll the car in really nicely, half throttle, full throttle as soon as we can. The Skippy will tend to oversteer coming over this slight crest. Don't run too wide, there's grass there, and you want to be on the right hand side of the track at this point. Braking point is kind of a timing from the last corner. It's really awkward, but I'm going down into first gear. You kind of just going to feel things around here. Feel for yourself where you feel like you need to brake, maybe count one or two after the turn two. Turn three, I'm all the way down into first gear. As I say, nice late apex and early on power as much as we can. We are on full throttle for an awful long time after this, basically into turn six. So if we can get a good drive out of here, that's going to bode well. Use all the curb. Don't want to use any more than that. We start slipping on the grassy stuff. Not good. This is the straight here with a load of turns into it. Just try and straight line it as much as possible. Maximize the Skippy straight line speed. You will get a good slipstream and a good tow up into turn six. This is turn four, by the way. This little one up here is turn five that leads into turn six. Going to be very tricky. It's a fast corner, turn six, and this is where the speed slows back down. Braking point for this is this service road right here. You can see I'm just grazing the brakes at the minute. Down into fourth. Some people stay in fourth up the hill. I tend to change into fifth just as force of habit, really. If you can keep around 90 miles an hour around here, you're doing pretty damn good. You're going to have a good lap time. This is just trying to get the car turned in as neatly and without sliding the rear end as possible. If we're sliding the rear end, we are going to end up on the gravel trap on the left-hand side, which is not good. Keep as smooth as possible through there. Little steering inputs. Control the rear end with the throttle. Once the braking is done, don't really want to touch it again. Turn, where are we? 7 now. Turn 7 is, I'm trying to find it. It's very nearly full throttle, but there's a little kink in the road surface that you saw there. That's my sort of turn in / braking point marker. You can see us tickling the brake all the way in. We can take more curve than that. In the other track guide, I didn't take as much curve as I should have done. And same again there. Turn 8 is a crafty little rascal. Very wide track, very easy to dive bomb. The traffic light, when it disappears from my center monitor, that's when I'm coming on the brake. That's sort of my guide when things disappear from one monitor to the other or disappear from your monitor if you're on a single screen. Down in second gear, roll the car in. Don't want to run too wide here. You're only elongating the track, sorry. You want to make it as short as possible. The straightest line is the quickest line. Turn 9 is a fantastic little corner. Really enjoying this little one. Really useful if you did stick your nose in on turn 8. It disrupts them on turn 9, and we do have a good straight. Braking point is the service road / the yellow orangey barrier. down into second gear, and nice light brake, nice really trail braking corner here, all the way in. Now we do take some curb. It doesn't upset the car too much, but we're on full throttle really early, and that's going to make this straight really a lot quicker for us. We're going to get a good amount of speed before the very tight turn 10. Great overtaking opportunity down here. This is one of my favourite overtaking opportunities. Take that corner nice and wide, get a good slingshot down here, and straight into turn 10. As this is a straight, all we're trying to do is bring the car over to the left-hand side as efficiently as possible. Avoid other cars if there are any on the track, but luckily this was quite a quiet session for me. As we come over the hill, you can see the sign, the 200, the 100, so we're starting to look for our braking point, which is a lovely curbing on the left-hand side here. Just as it passes our front/mid car area, we start applying the brakes, and we're down into the second gear, brake in a straight line, come off the brakes, and then start turning the car to the apex. You can take quite a lot of curb here. It's kind of like two curbs, so avoid the second one, if that makes sense, the very inner curb. This point, as the car dips down, brake in again, and some people change into first. I think I did in my last track guide. Again, I'm finding second to be a lot easier around here, but again, get on the throttle as early as possible without running wide. There's a very small curve here which you can use, but be careful of running too far wide. You're getting on the grass stuff, which is not good. Coming down this straight, not really an overtaking opportunity down here. It's one of these bits there. It's going to get close to your rival. Turn 12 and 13 lead on to the start finish straight, so that's where most of the overtakes will happen. It's quite a decent long straight here, and turn 1 is a very harsh braking zone. These are probably the most important corners on the track, so try and get them right. The dirt patch on the left hand side is where I'm braking and changing down, taking loads of curb around here. And these are the most important corners because they lead onto the start finish straight, so you get a few extra mile an hour here. It's going to mean more speed down there. With this turn 13, it is full throttle, but you don't want to put too much steering angle in. These are my worst corners, to be honest. I don't like these at all, particularly this one. I'm not sure if I need to take a load of steering angle into turn 13 or take one big sweep. So I'm not sure which is more efficient for the Skippy. But I think long sweeping corner, the car is still accelerating, not as quick as it would do if all four wheels were pointing in a straight line, but there we go. Pit entry on the right hand side, just as the white curbing or barrier, starts up there. Be careful of cars pitting in, and basically this is the long start finish straight where most of the overtakes will happen. So be careful of cars down here, late breakers, dive bombing, all that lovely stuff. So line is quite far away, so just be warned again about last lap. People will get a good slipstream, but here comes the line, and we cross the line with a 54.566. So not a bad lap time. I have done quicker ones in the past, but for whatever reason, time of day, racing driver excuses galore, wasn't able to match it this time. It was the third quickest time in the practice session we had. Just looking at the timesheet now, Guy did a 1:54.1, so 4/10 slower than him. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I'm sure later on in the week we'll get some more speed going on with it. But let us know how you guys get along in your races, lap times. Really like reading the comments if you do improve later on the week. It's a really fun circuit. I do enjoy it quite a lot. I'm glad that we've got some runoff area. We had 2 weeks of walls being very close, which was not handy. Otherwise, guys, trying to think of the word, chase cam and cockpit cam are to follow at full speed. And otherwise, catch you on the next one. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.